Welcome to Empowered by East. My name is Ainsley.
And my name is Gabby. Join us as we explore how East impacts thousands of students and communities by transforming education.
Let's get into today's episode.
Welcome back to Empowered by East. This is the second episode. Today, we're going to be talking to student champions and who they are and what they do.
That's right, Gabby. We're recording this episode from the University of Arkansas in Fayetteville, where over 50 student champions are gathering right now to learn, network, and grow into more capable leaders.
We're going to be interviewing several East student champions on this episode and are joined by two right now. Can you please introduce yourself?
I'm River from Illegala.
I'm Jamari from Minola High School.
All right, so can you guys share a little bit about your East story?
So I heard East, it was in the sophomore year whenever we went on to our Northeast Tech tours, and it's a class that you can take, like the East class is something you can take at Northeast Tech, and we have the option to go take visits to other classes, not just one, but we can take to three. And what I normally took was, I believe I took CNC, East, and then something else. But the one that really sparked my interest was East because it had all kinds of technology. It had everything that I actually was wanting to do. And I heard that you could get certifications for like other technology like cybersecurity, IT support, and other things like that. But another thing that sparked my interest was like how hands-on it was. Like whenever we first went to that classroom, I saw them working on like a VR headset and like a computer. And I was like, oh, that's really nice. I would actually like to work on that kind of stuff and actually dig into further depth on what it actually is.
So for me, in joining East, you see, I missed my sophomore showcase. I missed like everything that really advertised it for the most part. But I found a pamphlet while our counselor or the counselor for Northeast Tech was visiting my school actually. And he's talking about all the programs, he's going deep in detail. And he just kind of ignores East a bit. Like he doesn't really go into depth on some of the things. And I bring it up and I'm like, hey, what's this? And I mean, he just starts talking about it a little bit. And I'm like, this kind of seems like it fit me pretty well. So I was like, yeah, we'll give it a try.
So you guys like go to different high schools and then you come to Northeast Tech?
Yes.
Yeah.
How did you come to be East student champions?
So last year, we did like multiple other jobs. And I think one of the reasons that stood me out from the rest of everybody else is I was always willing to help other people, even if it wasn't mine, or even if I had a deadline coming up, I would always help other people and I would always strive to learn more things. One thing I did strive to learn last year was a little bit about Blender, which is a 3D modeling software. And then I partook in some sort of, I don't know, knowledge in Photoshop, Illustrator, and other Adobe products. But other than that, I think really set me apart from everybody else is I was always able to help other people and always able to support other people and give them my ideas and something that they could improve on.
So for me, I'm not exactly sure on her exact reasoning for picking me, but I was going through a lot last year around this time. And basically, after just going through everything I did, my facilitator was there pretty much the whole way. She's really the reason I decided to keep pushing through East and keep doing something. And by the end of the year, I want to know how I could help her. Like, I want to know what I could do for my facilitator and just how I get involved.
So at Northeast Tech, do you guys do an application to become student champions or they just pick you?
So we do have to put in whenever they're putting in, they have this ballot for even BPA, they'll do BPA. And then you can partake in IT technician or shop person because we have a shop. We do 3D prints, we do vinyl prints and everything else. But it's on this form, and you can just select your reasoning and then write out why you think you should become the East Student Champion. And that's how it really came about.
So, what did it mean to you guys to be selected, to be picked for student champion?
So last year we had a student champion as well, and I really looked up to her. I think that's the reason why I take after her as well,
Mhm.
because I saw what she was doing, and then I tried doing that in my own way, and I believe again it really helped me get to the point where I'm at right now.
Mhm.
Pretty much to bounce off what he said, the last year's student champion was, I mean, somebody to really look up to, a really responsible person. And I mean, I looked at that and I was like, I want to be like that.
What do you guys do as East Student Champions?
So we normally can go around and help other people out. We're typically the people that everybody else comes to filter out all the information to our main facilitator, because some of the information, I mean, it is needed, yes, but some things are just more important than others, like deadlines, whenever things are up and coming, whenever we have like a meeting or anything else related.
Okay, so student champion looks different for a lot of
Yeah.
classrooms because you have different classrooms. Like there's
Yeah.
a high school classroom, or are you guys considered like a college
So I
or
believe it's just like I mean, it's just like a really just like almost like a tech school. I mean, it has
oh,
its
okay.
different like for taking interest, and you can get
Hmm.
certifications. I guess you can kind of graduate from there as well. But
I mean, yeah, you graduated.
yeah, you
Okay.
can get other
So
things from it.
it's there are student champions in a lot of different classrooms. So what does it mean to you personally? Because it can mean different things to different people.
So I feel like to me, it gives other people to look up on me, and I feel like I'm a leader. It gives me, I feel like, more responsibility as well to have people look up to me, because if I know that I'm a leader, then people are gonna look up to me and try to follow me in my footsteps.
Hmm.
And well, I try to lighten the way for those people. I can usually kind of tell like who might be and who can be a Eastern champion for the following years and for whatnot.
Hmm.
What's your experience at the training, and what have you learned about being a leader?
So my experiences so far is it's very wide range in age, schools, everything else, because we're again from Oklahoma, so it's a long ways away, and it's not just open to like a nearby place, or it's not just their own little thing, but they're um, a big organization. And what it means to be a leader is to show people that even whenever things are getting like rough or whenever things get hard, that you can always persevere and always get through even the hard times. And you can always push people to get completed with their projects, even if they are burnt out on their projects or they just lost everything. Whenever they just lost their like thinking process, motivation, just everything, you can still like strive them and help them out to get their project done and to have a community service partner that will come back.
Um, yeah, honestly, back to the whole, I mean, amount of people or like the age range. It really, the training really kind of puts into scale just how big East is.
Hmm.
I mean, seeing all the different, younger people, being the oldest one in there is kind of weird, but seeing like all the younger students, I mean, like actually enjoy it and ask questions and get involved. It's just nice to look at, like really just seeing the involvement that being a student champion gives you.
No, I get what you're saying because going from your East classroom to like a thing where they have all kinds of different schools is crazy to see like all the different people that they have and what they're accomplishing. So I know we kind of took you guys out of your training, but what's something that you've learned so far that you would take home with you?
Everybody has their own skill set, and it's not just like based on like everybody likes IT work or everybody likes artwork or everybody likes digital artwork, like a mix of both. I've learned that it's like a wide variety, and if everyone can bring together their own interests and skill sets that they have to come together and well show off.
I think the main thing I've learned is probably just how much more I could be involved with like my administrator and what the work they do.
Mhm.
Uh, like, I mean, there's just a lot of little things that I didn't even know that like the facilitator did.
Mhm.
and that I could take over as student champion.
Yeah. Well, thank you guys so much for coming on. We'll be right back.
Hi guys, my name is Hayden Taylor and I am an East student contributor. Each month, students like me share stories on everything our peers are accomplishing within East in the East Perspectives newsletter. Don't miss out on how East is providing incredible opportunities to thousands of students. Sign up for the newsletter today at eastlink.me/eastperspectives. Now enjoy the rest of the episode empowered by East.
Okay, so we just talked with two student champions, and now we've got two different student champions. Go ahead and introduce yourselves.
Hi, I'm Henley Shutnick, and I'm 10 years old, and my school is Willis D. Shaw.
My name's Abby, and I go to Willis T. Shaw too. And I'm just gonna say that I'm 11 years old, but I am.
So you are 11 years old.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, great. So we already talked about what student champion is, but what does it mean to you personally?
To me personally, I think a student champion I think it's someone who has the drive for East. I think it's someone who loves it and is willing to put 110% into it that's like whenever they wake up on a day that they have East, it's like, okay, I have East, this is going to be a great day. And they take that drive and they use it to motivate others, motivate themselves. And they take that and they put it in their project. That's what makes everything they do really, really good and strong and helpful for everyone.
To me, an East champion means a person that really works hard in East. They love it and they have passion for it. And so, like, if they're having a bad day and they realize that they had East, they look forward to it and they maybe change their attitude and they make it have a great day for East. But I also think it means that you always work hard for it, even if you have a problem, because there's always going to be a problem for if you have a project or something that you need. So you have a problem and then you find a solution to solve it, which I think is a really good example for an East champion. They're like a leader. They're just showing an example for other East students to do the same thing.
So it means that you have a positive impact on coming to school in your East projects.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it means taking having that first click of oh, this is something that I really love. I think I could do something with this. And then taking that and taking that, as Abby said, passion, and putting it into everything you do, and not just in East. I feel like if you are an East champion and if you have those qualities, then you take that and what you're learning and you also put it in your regular day-to-day life.
Yeah.
What are your goals for your East program and how do you plan to get there? So, we were actually talking about this earlier.
Yeah.
So our goals are to make sure that I feel like our East program as a whole right now is doing really well. And I think that we're figuring it out. And so this is our last year at the school. And I feel like one of my goals is to make sure that we have the stuff so that the kids a bunch of years later can do the same thing and have the same resources and have the same idea, or not the same ideas, but have the same passion and drive. So making something that's permanent so that it can stay with the kids to come.
My goal for East is to either find out what I really like, because I have so much things that I'm working on in East. Recycling, I have a garden, the community garden, and I think it's really helping me find out what I'm maybe want to be when I'm growing up, because East is mostly a boost. It helps you find out what you want to be for kids, and so I think it's just helping me find out what I really want to be, and
and also kind of what you really don't want to be.
Yeah.
Because it's also very oh, I do not like this. I'm not going to be this kind of person when I grow up. And it's helping you figure out oh, well, maybe I don't know exactly pinpoint what I want to be when I grow up, but I have a rough idea.
Yeah.
And I think that's a goal for personal East.
Yeah. One of the people that when we first went into our training, a guy came in I think he was one of the people that, like, worked in the university, but he told us that, like, it helps you find out what you wanna be or some things that you, like, don't wanna be, but you always wanna risk it and find out what you wanna be. Like, be more passionate, be yourself, and find out what you wanna be.
And another lady also said the people that go to school to do, the people that do the best in school and are the happiest are the people that know what they want to be and what they do, and they know what they want to learn, so that when they get there, it's a piece of cake and they're having fun learning, because that makes the world of the difference.
Yeah. In building off of that, how do you think the East has impacted your ability to know what you're doing in the future? Because I know you guys are only in 5th grade and you've got a lot of time to figure out your future. But how has East given you skills that you're going to use growing up and going through high school and college? And like, has it helped you understand what you want to be more, or like what path you want to take down the road of life?
Yeah, I think it really has. It's crazy that you saying that just made me feel like realize it's my last year. Anyway, um, it's crazy that it's crazy how much that I've learned, because I knew I was gonna learn how to do a 3D printer or use Adobe Photoshop or do this, and that. And I knew I was gonna learn that, but I didn't think that I was gonna learn like social skills that I can use forever. And so I think one of the main things I've learned is with like presenting stuff. I used to be, and I feel like it's given me just like confidence that I need, and um it's given me a lot of like faith in myself that I didn't used to have, because it's like, especially now being a student champion, it's like, hey, you're doing something right. I mean, you could fail everything you've ever done, but you're figuring this one thing out. And I feel like it's good. It gives you a lot of confidence. And it also has given me that sense of like, hey, I'm not going to solve world hunger, but I'm going to do something about it. And I can help one person, even if it's just one person. I feel like it's still so important. And East has helped me do so much that, like figuring out, hey, you can do something, and you're not just a little kid. Well, you are a little kid, but even though you are, there's still so many things that you can do that are really helpful.
You guys have a lot of life insight for a 5th grader.
Yeah.
Just have to say that.
Thanks.
So no, not every year. This is the second podcast episode. But every podcast episode at the end where we ask people to ask us a question. So what are your guys' questions for us?
How do you feel? How do you feel like it's? How have you? Wait, I can't figure out what way to word this. How does it feel to know that like you've done so much already, and that you're still going, and that you haven't even? I mean, you're in high school. You haven't even gone to college yet. Like, how does it feel to like know that and know that you've done so much already, and you still have so much more to go? Because I feel like I feel like a smidge of that. I've only been done East for 3 years. I feel a smidge of that, and I'm already feeling like, whoa, that's so cool.
Yeah. Doing this podcast has really given me more insight as to what I'm doing now, because earlier in my years, because this is only my 4th year, it only, as if that's not that many, but 4 years is a lot if you look at it. And that's why when I'm doing this podcast, I remember things that I've done in the past 3 years, and I'm like, "Oh my goodness." But I feel like this year I've done a lot too. So looking back and seeing all of the things I've done and the things I'm doing right now is a little bit crazy, because it feels like a lot, because I'll be trying to remember what I've been doing. And I just feel like, oh my goodness, I've done so many things. And it just makes me excited to like know what my future has in store for me, because I've done so much already, and I can't wait to see like where I go after that. And how about you, Gabby? How do you feel with all this experience under your belt?
Well, I feel like I'm here with Ainsley right now, and she's in high school, and I'm in 6th grade. So it makes me feel like I'm like doing big things, and that like if I can already do this, like in the future, I'm just gonna like gain more and more like things that will help me. So in the future,
I will be able to do, like, I can make my own podcast. I can do big things just because of the experience East has given me.
Thank you for listening to Empowered by East. If you'd like to know more about East's mission and how to get involved, please visit eastinitiative.org and follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and X at East Initiative. Remember to subscribe to the podcast to be the first to listen to new episodes as they release. See you later.